I spiked the punch at my own birthday party with enough truth serum to make my family choke on their lies. 10 years of forgotten cakes and empty chairs. And now they'd finally taste the bitterness I'd swallowed for them all. My sister Lily, the golden child, laughed as she raised her glass, oblivious that every sip was unraveling the secret she'd buried me under, the hidden run that stole my future and gifted her a clean slate. But as the room spun into confessions, I wondered if revenge would free me or just chain us all tighter in this godforsaken American dream turned nightmare. They say family is everything in this country, the glue that holds the picket fences together from sea to shining sea. But in our corner of suburban hell, Elmwood Heights, Ohio, where the cornfields bleed into strip malls and everyone pretends their skeletons are just Halloween decorations, family was a transaction. I learned that early, back when Dad's construction business was booming and Mom's book club was the talk of the PDA. I was the fixer, the planner, the one who made sure the gears turned without a squeak. June Harper, invisible architect of other people's happiness. For 10 years straight, I'd orchestrated Lily's birthdays like they were state fairs. At 16, I rented out the old barn on the edge of town, strung fairy lights from the rafters, and hired a bluegrass band that played till the cows came home, literally, since the neighbors complained about the noise rattling their silos. Lily, with her honey blonde curls and that laugh like wind chimes in a Midwest breeze, danced till dawn, her friends from the cheer squad spilling Boone's farm wine on hay bales. I footed half the bill for my part-time gig at the diner, flipping burgers while she dreamed of Broadway. "You're the best sister ever, Junie," she'd slur, hugging me with sticky arms. And I'd smile, because what else could I do? Family tax. I called it in my head. 17. A yacht party on Lake Erie. Because why not go big when Dad's bonuses were rolling in? I chartered the damn thing myself, haggling with the captain over the phone while cramming for finals. Lily wanted a Gatsby vibe, so I sourced flapper dresses from thrift stores in Cleveland, turned the deck into a speakeasy with bootleg gin punch, non-alcoholic for the minors. Of course, I wasn't stupid. She arrived in a beaded gown, arm in arm with her first boyfriend, Tommy, the quarterback who smelled like Axe body spray and entitlement. As fireworks cracked over the water, painting the sky in reds and whites like a patriotic fever dream, she pulled me aside. "This is magic."
June.
"How do you do it? Magic? Try spreadsheets and sleep deprivation." But I beamed, because her joy was my currency. 18. The pinnacle. I flew in a drag queen from Columbus for the entertainment, RuPaul's little sister. All sequins and shade, because Lily had come out as bi that summer. And I wanted her to feel seen, not just tolerated in our Bible Belt bubble. The backyard was transformed into a pride oasis. Rainbow flags whipping in the wind. A taco truck parked curbside slinging burrito that had half the town lining up. Lily kissed a girl under the string lights, and the photos went viral on her Insta, likes pouring in from strangers who thought we were progressive icons. Dad grumbled about the fairy nonsense, but he showed up with a check for the caterer, his way of saying he loved her more than his hang-ups. 19 through 25. Variations on the theme. Rooftop bars in Chicago for her college milestone. A hot air balloon serenade over the Appalachians when she graduated with that theater degree nobody in Elmwood understood. Road trip to Vegas for her 21st, where I lost a weekend's pay on blackjack to keep her blackjack table stocked. Every year, I'd sketch the themes in my battered notebook, vintage Hollywood. Murder mystery, ironic. In hindsight. Eco-glamping in the Hocking Hills. I'd bake the cakes from scratch. Mom's old recipe with a hidden bourbon glaze. Because Lily hated the fondant crap from the bakery. I'd wrap the gifts, plan the playlist, send the invites. And every year, the thanks came in hugs and hashtags. Best Big Sis Harper Sisters forever. My birthdays? Blips on the radar. At 26, I got a text from Lily at noon. Happy birthday. Busy with rehearsal. Catch you later, XO. Later meant never. Dad sent a card with a gas station gift certificate. Practical. He said, since I drove the old Ford Taurus everywhere. Mom baked a single cupcake, handed it over with a sigh about her sciatica flaring up. The family gathering? Cancelled because something came up with Lily's audition callback. I ate it alone in the kitchen, the flame guttering out before I could wish for anything but numbness. 27. A group chat emoji barrage. 28. Forgotten entirely until I mentioned it at Thanksgiving. Met with awkward laughs and a belated, oh, shoot, from Lily. By 29, I'd stopped expecting. Why bother? In America, you're supposed to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Right? So I did, swallowing the resentment like bad diner coffee. Black and bitter. But resentment festers, especially when it's fertilized with secrets. The big one started 12 years ago, the summer I turned 18. We were in Dad's F-150, barreling down Route 23 after a county fair, cotton candy stickiness, and Ferris wheel adrenaline still buzzing. Lily was 16, high on stolen sips from Dad's flask, giggling as she grabbed the wheel for a joyride prank. Come on, Uni. Live a little. One swerve too many. And we clipped a minivan at the light. Metal screamed. Glass shattered like a bad country ballad. The other driver, old Mr. Hargrove from the hardware store, slumped over the wheel, blood trickling from his temple. Dead before the ambulance wailed in. Lily froze, her face ghost white under the sodium lamps. Dad, slurring from the back seat, yanked her out, shoved me into the driver's seat. You were driving, June. Tell him that. His eyes, bloodshot and desperate, pinned me. Mom, arriving later in her sensible Honda, whispered in my ear, protect your sister. She's got dreams. You'll be fine. Insurance covers it. Fine? The cops bought the story. Lily's tears too genuine. My confession too steady. Manslaughter charge. Probation. Community service scrubbing graffiti off overpasses. Lily went to college on a partial scholarship. Her record spotless. I got a rap sheet that killed my nursing dreams. Stuck slinging hash at Wanda's diner for peanuts. That secret? It was my anchor, dragging me deeper each year as I planned her parties. Every toast to Lily's future was a knife twist in my gut. I'd smile through the toasts, clink glasses to her success, while my own life moldered like week-old pie. Dad drank more after, the business tanking in the '08 crash, blaming the damn recession instead of his lies. Mom buried herself in church ladies and Xanax, pretending the ghost of Hargrove wasn't rattling our chains. Lily? She flourished, off to New York for bit parts in Off Broadway. Then back to Elmwood, when the city chewed her up, landing a real estate gig flipping McMansions for yuppie transplants. By my 30th birthday, the weight was crushing. 30. A milestone in a life of milestones I'd built for others. I stared at the calendar in my cramped apartment above the diner, peeling wallpaper, fridge humming like a judgmental ant, and decided enough. No more invisible. This year, My surprise would be the uninvited guest they'd never forget. The truth. Served cold and spiked. I started small, testing the waters. A month out, I sent group texts. Big 30 bash at the house. Dress code. Regrets. Lily replied with fire emojis and, "Yes, queen." Dad grunted approval over beers at the VFW. Mom fussed about the guest list. I smiled, typing back one-handed while the other scrolled through old police reports I'd FOIA'd, yellowed PDFs of the crash. My forged statement glaring back like an accusation. The planning mirrored Lily's extravaganzas, but twisted. Invites on heavy stock, embossed with a single candle, subtle nod to the one I'd blow out alone so many times. Menu: comfort food with a bite, meatloaf laced with wasabi, apple pie dusted in cayenne. The venue? Our family home. That creaky colonial on Maple Drive, where the basement still smelled faintly of Dad's moonshine still from Prohibition ghosts. As RSVPs trickled in, I layered the trap. A playlist of songs about betrayal, Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone, Taylor Swift's I Did Something Bad, Johnny Cash crooning Hurt. Decor, photo booth with props like tiny handcuffs and gags. For the laughs. And the punch? Procured from a sketchy supplier in Akron. Nothing lethal. Just a cocktail of GHB Light and sodium pentothal knockoff. Enough to loosen tongues without the ER drama. Controversial? Hell yes. Illegal? In the gray zone of revenge porn for the soul. But in America, where opioids flow like the Ohio River, who's counting sins? The night crept up, humid August air thick as guilt. I stood in the kitchen, stirring the bowl, cranberry juice swirling with the clear liquid, innocent as baptismal water. Lily burst in early, arms loaded with balloons, her laugh echoing off the Formica counters. "Uni, this place looks a maze." "What's the theme?" "Midlife crisis chic." She air-kissed my cheek, smelling of vanilla and ambition. I handed her a flute of punch. "To 30, I said, clinking." Her eyes sparkled, unsuspecting. Guests filtered in, cousins from Akron, Lily's realtor buddies with their crypto bro husbands, even Tommy, paunchy now but still flashing that quarterback grin. Dad manned the grill out back, flipping brats with a beer in hand. Mom flitted about, arranging cheese platters like peace offerings. The room filled with chatter, the clink of ice in glasses, that forced joviality of Midwestern small talk. "How about them Buckeyes? Gas prices killing ya?" I watched from the sidelines. Nurse's eye for vitals, pulse quickening as they sipped, pupils dilating under the recessed lights. Lily held court by the dessert table, regaling tales of her latest flip, a Victorian gutted into a smart home for some tech exec fleeing California taxes. "It's all about reinvention," she trilled, downing her third glass. Reinvention. The word hung like smoke. As the clock ticked toward 10, the serum kicked in. Subtle at first, a looseness in postures, laughter edging toward hysteria. Cousin Marla slurred about her husband's affair, tears mixing with mascara. Tommy confessed to padding his expense reports at the mill. Dad slumped in his armchair, muttering about the bribes that kept the business afloat post-crash. Mom's eyes glazed, her hand trembling as she gripped her cross necklace. Then Lily. She swayed to the couch, glass dangling, her gaze locking on mine across the room. "Uni." "I." The words tumbled, fragmented. "That night. The truck." I grabbed the wheel. "You said you were driving." "But I." God. The blood on the windshield. "Mister." Hargrove's eyes. Staring. Gasps rippled. Heads turned. The air thickened. Party poppers forgotten on the floor. I stepped forward, heart pounding like a bass drum in a funeral march. Tell them, Lil. Tell them how I took the fall. How you drove, drunk on Dad's whiskey. And I confess to keep your dreams alive. 10 years of parties. Of me building your castles while mine crumbled. This is my birthday gift, the truth. The room fractured. Whispers to shouts. Alliances shifting like sand in a storm. Dad lurched up. Face purple. Shut your mouth. Girl, that was family business. Mom whimpered, clutching her rosary. Lily's eyes widened. Serum-fueled horror dawning.
June.
I didn't mean. It was an accident. You were always the strong one. Strong? I'd been the scapegoat. The sacrificial lamb on their altar of denial. As accusations flew, I felt the first crack in my armor, the thrill souring to something hollow. Revenge tasted like ash, and the night was just beginning. The living room turned into a coliseum, every glare a gladiator's sword. Lily crumpled against the armrest, her sequin top catching the lamplight like shattered stars. June, please. It was one mistake. We were kids.
Kids?
Try the pivot point where my life forked into the ditch. I circled the coffee table, punch bowl sloshing like a witch's cauldron, the scent of fermented fruit mocking the chaos. Dad exploded first, veins bulging under his flannel like Ohio creeks in spring flood. You think this is funny? Spiking the goddamn drinks? What the hell's in that swill? He lunged for the bowl, but Tommy, bless his buzzed betrayal, grabbed his arm. Easy.
Hank.
Sounds like there's more to this than bad hooch. More? Understatement of the century. I held up my phone, the screen glowing with that dog-eared police report. Time-stamped 3:17 a.m. My juvenile signature scrawled at the bottom like a death warrant. Read it.
Dad.
Out loud. If you've got the guts. He snatched it, squinting through beer-fogged eyes. The words tumbling like dominoes. Driver June Harper, 18. Admitted to loss of control due to distraction. Passenger Lily Harper, minor, uninjured. His voice cracked on admitted, the lie we'd all rehearsed in the ER waiting room. Fluorescent buzz overhead like accusatory hornets. Mom wailed from the corner. Her book club poise shattered. Lord have mercy. June, you could have killed someone with that. That drug. Hypocrite. She'd popped Valium like tic-tacs after the funeral. Hargrove's widow's sobs echoing in her nightmares. I knelt beside her, voice low. Killed? Like how Lily killed a man's chance at retirement. His kid's college fund? I carried that weight so she could chase spotlights. Where's the mercy in forgetting my name day after day? Lily stirred, serum stripping her varnish. I tried to make it right. The parties. I knew you planned them, but I thought. God, June, you were so good at it. Better than me. Better? I'd clawed for scraps while she feasted. Her real estate hustle? Built on my overtime shifts covering her freelance gaps. That apartment in the city, sublet from my savings when she flamed out on auditions. The room polarized, Lily's friends clustering around her like lionesses, hissing about toxic family dynamics they'd read in some Goop newsletter. Cousin Marla, punch loose, sided with me. Hank always played favorites. Remember Aunt Rita's will? Lily got the lake house. Dad roared, shoving the phone back. Favorites? I built this family from dirt. That crash? Recession hit harder, jobs dried up. I drank to cope. June was tough. She bounced back. Bounced? My nursing school acceptance evaporated overnight. The dean citing character concerns. I bounced from gig to gig. Diner drone. Then retail hell at the Walmart Supercenter. Folding graphic tees while Lily posted Boss Babe reels. Tough. Try termite-eaten resolve. Cracking under polite smiles. As midnight tolled, the serum peaked, confessions cascading like a dam breach. Tommy admitted ghosting me after 2 dates because Lily warned you were intense. Intense? Code for carries baggage. One of Lily's colleagues, Buzzcut Brad, spilled about fudging comps on her flips to dodge IRS audits. She's a shark.
Man.
But loyal.
Loyal.
The word curdled. I poured another round, the ladle clinking like Judgment Day bells. Drink up.
Folks.
Night's young. Lily reached for me, fingers trembling. Sis.
I'm sorry. Truly.
Let me fix it. A fix? Too late for Band-Aids on bullet wounds. But her eyes, those mirror blue pools, held a flicker. Not just serum haze.
Genuine?
Or the first flip of the cunning I'd always suspected simmered beneath her charm. That's when the doorbell rang. A chime cutting the din like a guillotine. Guests parted as I opened it, revealing Hargrove's widow, Eleanor. Silver-haired and steel-spined, clutching a manila envelope. I'd invited her anonymously weeks ago. Address sourced from public records. June, she rasped, voice like gravel under tires. You said it was time. The room sucked air. Eleanor stepped in. Envelope thrust forward. His life insurance? Never paid out. Company cited reckless driving. You're reckless driving. Murmurs swelled. Lily paled. Mrs.
Ush.
What? Eleanor fixed her with eyes like spent shotgun shells. You were the wild one. Lily. I saw you at the fair, daring your sister. But she confessed. Noble, but foolish. Dad charged. But Brad blocked him. Crypto bros turning bouncers. Back off. Old man. Chaos crested. Mom fainting into Marla's arms. Tommy dialing 911 just in case. Lily bolted upright. Serum sharpening her survival instinct. June. This is insane. You're ruining everything for what? Some grudge from high school. Grudge? Try a decade of erasure. But as she whirled on Eleanor, voice pitching high, it was an accident. We were scared kids. I saw the flip. Cunning Lily, the actress. Weaving narrative. June's always been jealous. My successes? She planned them to control me. This party's her breakdown. Gasps flipped to nods among her posse. Classic narcissist move, one whispered. Scrolling TikTok therapy vids. Polarization deepened, my side shrinking to Marla and Eleanor. There's a wall of performative empathy. I laughed, bitter as black coffee. Jealous? I built your pedestal.
Lil.
Now watch it crumble. Eleanor opened the envelope. Yellowed letters. Hargrove scrawled pleas for justice. Ignored by our bought-off lawyer. I came for closure, she said, voice steady. Not revenge. Noble. Unlike me. As sirens wailed distant, the punch's haze lifted slightly. Regrets crystallizing. Had I gone too far? The line between victim and villain blurred. My surprise, a mirror reflecting us all as monsters. Lily cornered me in the powder room, door locked against the fray. What do you want?
June? Money?
The house? Say it. Her breath reeked of punch and panic. I traced the sink's porcelain cracks. I want my birthday. Everyone you stole. She softened. Hand on my arm, sisterly. Almost. Then, let's end this. I'll confess.
Tomorrow.
Swear on Mom.
A beat.
Trust? Or ploy? Her eyes darted, calculating. The first real twist. Was this redemption? Or her angling to spin the narrative? Paint me the unhinged one? Outside. Dad's bellows, mixed with cop knocks. The night fractured further. My revenge a boomerang slicing back. Cops swarmed the house like ants on a picnic. Flashlights carving the darkness into accusatory stripes. Officer Ramirez, stocky. Mustache twitching like a divining rod for bullshit, cuffed the air with questions. Ma'am, you admit to lacing the beverages. I nodded. Wrists zip-tied behind me, the plastic biting like truth's teeth. For the confessions?
Yeah.
No harm meant, just honesty. He snorted, jotting notes. Honesty's a hell of a drug in Ohio. Lily hovered in the hall, blanket draped like a Greek tragedy heroine. Feeding Ramirez the edited reel. June's been stressed. Officer. The party's her idea of catharsis. That crash story? Old family drama. Exaggerated. Exaggerated? My rap sheet was etched in state databases. Not fanfic. But her delivery wide-eyed. Quivering lip. Hooked him. We'll sort it at the station. You two. Separate cars. The cruiser ride blurred Elmwood's sodium-lit streets. Cornfields whispering judgments. At the precinct, linoleum floors sticky with midnight confessions, Ramirez Mirandized me in a booth that smelled of stale Joe and regret. Attempted assault via intoxicant? Could be felony. Why risk it? I leaned forward, the table's edge digging my ribs. 10 years carrying their sins.
Tonight.
I offloaded. He flipped through the report I'd emailed him en route, Hargrove file. My forged statement highlighted. This changes things. Manslaughter cover-up? That's perjury territory. A pause. His pen tapping. But family? Juries eat that up. Sympathy vote. Sympathy. The American loophole. Where blood trumps justice. Lily's interrogation played out in the next room, voice carrying through the vent like smoke signals. I drove.
No.
Officer, June's projecting.
She's always resented my
opportunities. Flip number 2, victim to villainous. Me the envious shadow. I banged the table. Liar. Ramirez shushed me. But the seed was planted. Dawn crept in. Bail posted by Marla, bless her hungover heart. Girl. That was ballsy.
Stupid.
But ballsy. We grabbed drive-through burritos. Grease soaking the bag as she drove me home. My apartment loomed, a shoebox over Wanda's. Neon open 24/7, buzzing below like a migraine. Inside. Voicemails piled. Mom's sobs. Dad's threats. You're dead to us. Lily's plea, call me. We need to talk strategy. Strategy. That's when I saw her game, cunning layered like onion skin. Lily. The realtor. New narratives sold houses. Now she'd sell innocence. I crashed hard. Dreams tangled in wreckage. Hargrove's ghost at the wheel. Lily's laugh echoing as she swerved. Woke to pounding, Eleanor. Coffee in hand, eyes sharp as switchblades. Cops called. Your sister's lawyering up. Spinning it as your breakdown. We sat at my Formica table. Steam rising like unspoken accusations. Why protect her back then? She asked, stirring raw sugar. I shrugged. Love? Duty? That Harper code. Blood covers blood. She nodded.
Slow.
Mine didn't. After the crash, my boy, his dad, drank himself gone. Kids scattered. You gave me this. She slid a check, 5 figures, from some wrongful death suit she'd quietly pursued. Use it. Or burn it. Money. The great American equalizer. Or poison ivy. I pocketed it, but the weight lingered. Afternoon brought Lily uninvited. Key I'd given her years back under the sink. She breezed in. Yoga pants and takeaway lattes, all sisterly concern. Uni? The lawyer says we play the unity card. Family therapy. Public apology. I'll back your catharsis story. Her smile. Practiced for open houses. No need for cops digging up ancient history. Ancient? Try festering. I sipped the latte vanilla, her signature peace offering. And the confession? Your promise? She waved it off. Too risky. Dad's health. Mom's nerves. But I'll make it up. Co-sign on a condo. Fund your nursing redux. Deal? The flip, from remorse to bargain basement absolution. Cunning. Cloaked in care. I played along, nodding through her pitch, visions of palm tree brochures. Fresh starts in Florida. But inside, the plan reformed. Revenge 2.0, not blunt force, but scalpel. That night, I hit the dark web forums, Ohio expats swapping ghost stories, and Trace Lily's flips. Audition tapes from her NYC days, her as a scheming understudy, sabotaging the lead with accidental laxatives. Real estate logs, comps inflated, clients ghosted post-close. Pattern, charm to climb, cut ropes behind. Next day, Elmwood buzzed, gossip mill grinding my meltdown party into legend. Wanda docked my pay for the PR hit, but Marla hooked me a temp gig at her salon. Vent sessions on the house. Clients trickled in. Scissors snipping secrets. Heard Lily's lawyering against her own blood. June's the saint. Always was. Lily escalated, text barraging. Media sniffing. Stick to script. Script. Her life. My improv. I countered with a blog post. Anonymous on a local forum. Elmwood's Golden Girl. Crash cover-up? Attached. Redacted report scans. Views spiked. Comments dividing. Team June, finally. Team Lily, slander. Jealous hag. Dad called then. Voice gravel over gin. You're tearing us apart.
Girl.
For what? That old man's been worm food a decade. Worm food with unpaid debts. I hung up, but the barb stuck. Was I the wrecker now? Eleanor texted. Widow support group meeting tonight.
Come.
I went. Folding chairs in a church basement. Steam from urn coffee fogging the crucifix. Stories spilled. Spouses gone in DUIs. Kids orphaned by accidents. One woman, gaunt as winter corn, fixed me. Forgave my husband's killer. Peace came slow. Peace sounded like surrender. But her eyes, haunted yet horizontal, whispered maybe. Driving home. Twist hit. Ramirez's cruiser tailed me. Lights off. Pulled over at the quarry's edge. He leaned in. Your sister's filing a restraint order. Claims harassment. Harassment? My truth bombs. But off record? That report checks out. DA's interested if you press.
Press.
The decision loomed. Controversial as a Trump rally in Blue, Ohio. expose and exile, or forgive and fester. Lily waited on my stoop. Rain slicked. Mascara rivers. Uni.
Stop this.
The blog? It's killing me. Clients bailing. Tommy dumping me again.
Dumped.
Poetic. She grabbed my hands, cold as betrayal. Remember our fort? Blanket over the couch. Whispering dreams. Dreams. Hers, stages.
Spotlights.
Mine, scrubs. Stethoscopes. I do, I said, pulling away. But yours came true on my corpse. Her face twisted. Hurt? Or calculation? Then hate me. But don't destroy us.
Us.
The family phantom. As thunder cracked, I saw the next flip. She'd confess partially. Youthful mistake. Me co-conspirator. To split blame. Cunning queen. Checkmating with crocodile tears. The tension coiled. My revenge a live wire sparking in the storm. The DA's office squatted in downtown Toledo like a concrete bunker. All fluorescent judgment and coffee-ring files. Ms. Patel, sharp-suited, accent-clipping vowels like shears, leaned across her desk. The Hargrove dossier splayed like a autopsy. Perjury. Obstruction. Solid case if you testify. But family? That's the wild card. Juries here love redemption arcs. Redemption. Hollywood ending for Midwestern mess. I traced the photo clipped to the file. Hargrove, grinning in a flannel twin to Dad's, arm around a fishing pole. They buried me for her spotlight. Now I want daylight. Patel nodded. Jotting. Controversial. Ms. Harper. Exposing kin? Half the town will call you hero. Half harpy.
Harpy.
Fitting. Winged vengeance in a land of flat horizons.
Outside.
Autumn bit early. Leaves carpeting curbs in rust and regret. Marla picked me up. Her minivan a mobile confessional. Salon's on fire with it. Ladies dividing tips like battle lines. We grabbed shakes at the old drive-in, chocolate malt for me, strawberry for her, straws slurping silence till she burst. Lily cornered me at the Kroger. Swore she'd make amends. But her eyes? Snake oil.
Snake oil.
The elixir of Lily's promises. Back home, the mailbox bulged, subpoena teasers, hate mail, traitor, and a cream envelope, Lily's script, gold embossed. Inside, invite to family summit, rebuild the Harpers. Venue, the lake house, that cedar-shingled relic on Erie, where Dad's favoritism festered like wet rot. I went. Solo. The drive a 2-hour blur of classic rock anthems, Springsteen's Born to Run, mocking my stalled engine of a life. The house loomed, twilight gilding the dock where Lily and I once skipped stones. Dreams ricocheting. Inside. The spread screamed truce. Pot roast simmering. Mom's recipe. Bourbon-glazed carrots on the side. Dad nursed a highball by the fireplace. Logs crackling like unspoken barbs. Lily, in cashmere sweater soft as lies.
Poured wine.
Uni. Glad you came. Mom hovered. Rosary beads clicking. Let's pray first. We bowed heads. Her murmur invoking forgiveness I wasn't selling. Plates clattered. Forks scraping china like nails on chalkboards. Small talk skated thin ice. Buckeye scores. Wanda's new menu. Then Lily. Fork poised. I've been thinking. About the crash. It haunts me nights. You know. Haunts. Selective memory. Dad cleared his throat. Water under the bridge.
Lil.
June's blowing it up for attention. Attention. The birthday I'd never had. I set my glass down. Stem chiming. Bridge? Try the grave you dug for me. Nursing school gone. Jobs tainted. While she flipped houses on my dime, Lily's eyes welled on cue. I know. And I'm sorry. Truly. That's why. She slid papers across. Quitclaim deed to the lake house. My name's Solo.
Yours.
Fresh start. Gift horse? Or Trojan? Mom chimed. Therapy too. Group sessions. Heal as one.
Heal.
The words soured the roast. Dad grunted approval. Business is shot anyway, creditor circling. This fixes the ledger. Ledger. My life as balance sheet. Debts unpaid. I flip the deed. Fine print glowing, contingent on mutual non-disclosure. Gag order in sheep's clothing. The flip crystallized, Lily's masterstroke, by silence with scraps. Spin me the greedy fixer. Cunning. Cloaked in contrition. Generous, I said, voice flat. But truth's not for sale. Dad slammed his fist. Embers scattering. Ungrateful. After all
we.
I laughed.
Sharp.
You outsourced guilt to me. Lily drove, I drowned. Lily interjected. Voice pitching vulnerable. I was scared.
June.
Dad pushed. Mom pleaded. But I should have owned it.
Now.
Let me.
Owned.
Half-truth. Prepped for the DA, shared blame. Reduced sentences. Mom teared up. Please. Girls. We're Harpers. We stick.
Stick.
Like tar babies. Entangled. Tension peaked. Air thick as lake fog. I stood. Chair scraping. Stick or sink?
Outside.
The dock called, waves lapping like whispers. We ended there, feet dangling over black water. Lily beside me. Remember skinny dipping? Freedom. Freedom. Hers. Stolen from me. What now? A sis? Really? Her profile. Moonlit, beautiful. Broken? Confess with me. Joint statement. We share the weight.
Share.
Or split, her lighter. Me crushed anew. Sirens distant neighbors? Or my paranoia? The decision loomed. Accept the deed. Swallow the gag. Let rot claim us? Or testify? Shatter the facade. Damn the fragments? Controversial calculus. Family's poison or justice's blade. Back in Elmwood. The divide deepened. Forum threads exploded. June's a whistleblower versus vindictive witch, leave Lily alone. Wanda rehired me. Drama draws tips, but stares followed. Eleanor lunched at the diner. Her check cashed into a lawyer fund. Press if you must. For him. Patel called. Summit's a stall. Lily's attorney shopping please.
Stall.
The word ignited. Night fell. I drove to the quarry, tires crunching gravel. Engine idling like a heartbeat. Phone in hand, record or delete the Summit audio I'd secretly captured. Lily's share the weight, admission or artifice. Twist uncoiled, a text from Tommy. Drunk dial Jim. Lily confessed to me years ago. Used you as shield.
But.
She loves you. Twisted way.
Loves.
The darkest word. As coyotes yipped, I hit send to Patel, audio file. Timestamped. The wire snap taut. Revenge's noose tightening on us all. Courtroom in Toledo smelled of polished oak and desperation, the kind that clings like cigarette smoke in a dive bar. Gallery packed, Marla front row. Nodding fierce, Lily's posse in pastel power suits. Whispering stand with Lily. Eleanor slipped in back, anonymous as a shadow. I took the stand, hand on Bible, irony thick as Ohio humidity, swearing truth amid the perjury ghosts. Patel paced, heels clicking like metronomes. MS. Harper. Walk us through the night of August 12th, 2013. I did. Fair lights blurring. Lily's grab. The crunch. My voice steady. Serum's echo loosening the knots. I confessed to protect her. Family first. Right. Snickers from the defense table. Lily's shark. A Cleveland import with a Rolex gleam. Objecting. Speculation. Victim baiting. Sustained. But the seed rooted. Dad testified next. Slouched in ill-fit suit. Sweat beading. Girls roughhousing. Accident.
June.
Volunteered. Volunteered. Like enlisting for Vietnam. His eyes avoided mine. Guilt or grudge. Mom followed. Tissue dabbing. We were scared parents. Wanted the best for both.
Both.
Liebald as her dye job. Lily's turn. The flip queen in witness box. Curls tamed. Voice a tremolo of contrition. I grabbed the wheel, stupid dare. But June. She insisted on the blame. Said she'd weather it. Weather. Monsoon of my youth. I partied to cope. Planned to repay. But guilt ate me.
Ate?
Try feasted. The deed waved like a white flag, exhibit a for amends. Cross-exam, Patel pounced. MS. Harper. Your text's post-party. Stick to script. Care to explain? Lily faltered. Serum's ghost widening her. Family strategy. Unity. Unity. Or united front against me. The audio played, summit whispers crackling. Share the weight. Jury leaned. Pen scratching. Closing arguments cleave the air. Prosecution. Justice delayed is denied. Harper family's fortress of lies crumbles. Defense. A sister's love. Twisted by time. No winners in blood feuds. Winners. The American myth. Pull up stakes. Start anew. But roots run deep in Rust Belt soil. Verdict hung 2 days. Elmwood holding breath like a collective hangover. I hold up at Eleanor's. Widow's cottage tidy. Cats purring judgment. Whatever comes, she said. Brewing chamomile. You unearthed him. Him. Hargrove. Not just file fodder. Gavel fell on a gray Tuesday. Lily guilty. Misdemeanor perjury. Probation. Restitution to the estate.
Me?
Immunity for testimony. But the stink lingered. Town's pariah princess. Dad disowned via voicemail. Ruined us. Hope you're happy.
Happy.
The hollow word. Twist landed post-sentencing. Lily cornering me in the courthouse hall. Cuffs off. But chains invisible. You got your pound. But read this. She thrust a letter. Hargrove Stationery. Postmark 2014. Found it cleaning the lake house. He wrote it before dying. I unfolded. Ink faded. Dear June, heard the rumors.
Kid.
Accident scar. But grace heals. Forgive the wheel. Not the wielder. Fish on. Signed. Elias Hargrove.
Grace.
From the grave. Lily's eyes raw. No flip. He knew.
Somehow.
Wanted you free, not me punished.
Free. The word hollowed me.
Had I avenged a ghost who sought absolution? Or chained us eternal? Lily hugged me then, fierce. Unscripted. Happy birthday.
Late.
Every year from now, we plan together. Together. Debatable dawn. Months blurred, Lily's license suspended. But she pivoted to consulting. Ethical flips, she joked.
Rye.
Dad sobered. AA meetings in the VFW basement. Mom's rosary clicked less, replaced by walks with Eleanor.
Me?
The check-funded community college, nursing redux. Night classes under diner neons. Birthdays? Joint now, my 31 with Lily's help. A quiet picnic at the quarry. Stones skipped till dusk. But the scar, forum debates raged. June. Hero or homewrecker? No clean sides. Just fractured mirrors. Was revenge catharsis or curse? Happy? Tragic? In America's heartland, where dreams die quiet, it's both, echoes in the ashes, whispering neither end. As another August loomed, I baked the cake, bourbon glaze, candles dual, 32 and reckoning. Lily arrived, arms full, laugh genuine. To us, Yini. Flawed as hell. We blew, wishes mingling. Mine, not forgiveness, but forward.
The punch bowl stayed dry. Truth.
Once spiked, flows free.